Hey everybody, my name is VTech. I'm here with Mullins today. We are done watching the Impact Wrestling at the end of the month for March. It is March 30th, 2017 right now. How you doing, my friend?
I'm doing pretty good.
Yeah,
That was I
um,
really enjoyed the episode.
yeah, I'm very indifferent about it.
It like
Um,
that's I just like it again makes me want to tune in next week.
I'll always tune in, even if there are good choices and bad choices to the show. Um, we'll get into them. So, all right, the show kicked off with a little bit of it was weird because it was supposed to be before Impact, but they showed it during Impact. It was supposed to be web exclusive, wasn't web exclusive, so I watched it all over again. But it was great. For those who didn't see it, now you saw the Josh Matthews sit down with Dirty Dutch Mantel, Bruce Pritchard, and Jeremy Borash. It was great. JB trashed Matthews and was like, "Hey, you're not even the best commentator in your family," and Matthews just putting his elbows on the desk, playing on his phone, stuff like this. Karen Jarrett comes in and is like, "I gotta deal with Sienna." Then we roll into the beginning of the show where Karen Jarrett, with the phenomenal theme song, pretty good by the way, goes into the show. She calls out Sienna. Sienna comes out. Karen Jarrett's like, "Hey, you're trashy backstage. People don't like you." Stuff like that. Sienna's like, "Who told you that, Allie?" And Karen's like, "Oh, you don't know. You don't know. I'll give you 15 seconds to get on my face before I fire you. It's 15 for," and then she goes to 10, and then out comes the person that you would have thought CM Punk would have been in WWE or WWE. You would have thought CM Punk came to TNA at that very moment by how
They put him over.
how the reaction was by the announce team and Karen Jarrett. The crowd wasn't behind it all. The crowd was chanting, "Who are
Crowd
you?"
was chanting, "Who are you?"
So out comes the guy. We know him. His name is Kevin Matthews. But they call him KM. I don't know why. I guess because Kevin
I don't like it.
Matthews, Josh Matthews, I guess they don't want to associate him with that story. I don't know. I think they could have
No, it's
gave
because
him
they
a
want to
much
associate him
better.
with someone that's going to get him over.
I guess they could have just associated him, or not associated. They could have gave him a better name or facade in TNA or whatever. But hey, I guess if you want to stick with what you were already rolling with in the Indies and stuff like that, I could see it. So yeah, he was out there. He got on the microphone. The overall feeling from the people that we watched it with, because we watched it with some other people, was that it was very. It kind of felt like it was one of the worst openings in the last couple months. The promo work wasn't phenomenal, wasn't that great. The crowd was it kind of felt very against it.
Tech, how far am I allowed to push my opinion on this thing?
Shoot, shoot. All right, I'm
Because
gonna let you shoot.
you know what word I'm going to use.
Yeah, shoot. I don't care.
Okay,
Yeah,
I'll be honest with you right now.
just give the
Eugene was a
yeah.
gimmick retard, and he sounded less retarded than Kevin Matthews.
Ooh. Shots fired.
His gimmick was to be retarded, and he sounded less retarded than Kevin Matthews.
So bang bang. So what happened was Kevin Matthews was getting in the face of Karen Jarrett, and then out comes little Braxton Sutter. I mean, he's not little, but like compared to Kevin Matthews, there's a bit of a difference there. Braxton Sutter comes out, beats the snot out of Kevin Matthews, and Allie comes and beats the snot out of Sienna, and they get out of the ring. And I'm so opposed to that, because if you're trying to put a guy over as like very intimidating, new, like he's supposed to be like CM Punk just walked in, or oh my gosh, John Cena, or like any big guy, any big name guy they were trying to act like he was. Because up until this point, I only heard of Kevin Matthews. I'm gonna be completely honest. I only heard of him because of eFed Wrestling. And if anyone knows what eFed Wrestling is, it's a little nerdy hobby over the internet with wrestling role play, and you basically cut online promos against other human beings.
Yeah.
And that's the nicest way to put it together, so it doesn't sound too bad. But that's the only way I've heard of him, and You know, while he was doing that, he was wrestling, of course, still, but I'll just leave it at that. So, I don't know. It's one of those things. There's a lot of new people, a lot of new beginnings. I just hope, you know, some of these guys end up better in the end.
I hope he has a new ending soon.
I hope they end up better than what Sam Shaw did, because I like Sam Shaw, you know, as he progressed, but I just felt like it was so tearing, you know, by the end of it, because I was like, wow, you know, as you were starting to get used to him, they cut him away, and you know, that could be the same way with a lot of these new people. You could hate him at the beginning, and you could start to like him, and they might rip him away. So, you know, I'll have that little bit of faith for Kevin Matthews to progress properly. I don't like the whole cousin storyline. I think they should have said, "That's my brother," or something like that. You know, something more of, like, more closer than that. I mean, you can be close to your cousin, but I don't know if it's just me. I don't know if that's just, I don't know. You can completely disagree with me, Mullins, but I wish they would have just said, like, "That's my brother."
I totally agree with you. Like, yeah. I didn't like how they made him out to be like he was the biggest. Like, they gave him as big of a build as they gave Alberto El Patron.
He didn't get the world title though off the bat,
and
though.
Love him or hate him, love Del Rio or hate Del Rio, whatever you feel about him, he's
big.
Head, shoulders, knees, and toes above this guy.
Del Rio's big. Del Rio's big, though.
Yeah, Del Rio's he's an international talent.
Most definitely.
He's worldwide known.
So
you go to Japan, you know who Del Rio is. You go to Japan and ask someone who Kevin Matthews is, like the generic white guy down the street.
So Sutter and Allie beat up Sienna and Kevin Matthews, or sorry, KM. Let me say it one more time. They're calling him KM. So the guy with the initials BS beat up the guy that they're calling KM. And they're gonna fight later tonight. That's all you gotta really know. They kind of left. So we're gonna get Sutter versus KM, BS versus KM. Thumbs up there later tonight. After that, one thing I'm going to talk about real quick so I can get all these across and just rip them away. That man right here that you see is the thumbnail of this video, that is the picture of, you know, that you're looking at right now, is Eli Drake. And he's a guy who's really taken, I feel like, a big, you know, bump in the road because of the new direction of things. And they've been trying to...
He was probably a Corgan guy.
They've been doing a lot of this, how are you going to make Impact great again thing. They did it with Davey. They did it with Eli Drake. They did it with one other person tonight. I can't remember. But all you got to know is that all those people, or all those segments of how are you going to make Impact great again. I think they did it with, what's his name? Oh, man, it's going to hurt me now. I can't remember his name. DJZ. I think he was on here.
Yeah, they did it with DJZ.
All those segments, I feel like, are a waste. Like, it was good for the first week, maybe 2 weeks. Okay, now it's getting old.
They take 2 minutes here and there. Like, they're 2-minute segments.
Yeah, that is time that should have been added to the end.
You got to think about that. That's six. That's three 2-minute segments. That's 6 minutes.
Plus commercials.
Devoted to something that actually mattered.
And I think as we talk about the ending of the show with the tag match, which we'll get to, I think there could have been way too much. They could have been added way more time to that. I don't think I had enough time, but we'll get to that. So Rosemary had a thing where she was like, "Hey, oh wait, sorry, before the Rosemary thing, quick match probably didn't need to happen. Andrew Everett and DJZ, right?" Yeah. Yeah, that happened. Didn't need to happen. All you gotta know, Trevor Lee, Shane Helms came out, completely, you know, took a dump on Andrew Everett, you know, saying, "Hey, we don't need you," but they keep on talking about him, so it's weird. I don't know. I've kind of got to that stage of, like, maybe Everett and Shane Helms should have banded together against Trevor Lee, because he has such a look and way of act around him that people could get behind him. And I think Andrew Everett needs that more.
I don't know if he needs Shane Helms as much as Andrew Everett did.
Yes. Especially because Trevor Lee, as we've seen a couple weeks ago with the stoner gimmick thing he was doing with the case, the race for the case, That was great. So that just showed that he has that, comedic thing to him as a, people cheer him, face like that. But yeah, Shane.
Oh, are you doing a video right now?
Most definitely, Shane.
My bad.
It's okay. Would you like to ask your question on air?
I mean, it has nothing to do with the video, so I guess I can wait till you're done.
Okay.
All right. So after that,
All right.
Rosemary comes out. She's like, all right. Actually, wait. Sorry. Before that, they showed a recap of basically almost the entire match of ODB versus Rebel. All they wanted to tell you was, hey, Eric Young is still not with the company. All right. That's literally, ODB was like, where my hubby EY at? And then Earl Hebner comes around and it was like, I'll be your hubby. All you gotta know, Earl Hebner and ODB, they're probably dating. Not in real life, but, character-wise. So I love that. It's comedic, it's stupid. I don't know.
70-year-old senile, erectile dysfunction.
I don't know. I don't know if it needed to happen during the show, but
that could have been an internet exclusive.
Yeah, that probably could have been. But it's great. It's I like the internet stuff they're doing right now. I just wish they would keep it internet. But it'd be for the people who follow all their social media stuff to be like, hey, I know what's coming up. I know what's gonna be wrapped up in the story, stuff like that. So what you gotta know is Rosemary comes out. Like I said, I've been trying to get to that for a while now. Rosemary comes out, starts being like, I'm the champ. I'm burying everybody. Out comes ODB. She's like, you haven't faced me yet. And Rosemary's like, the Hive doesn't want to face you, talking about her head, whatever. She called herself the something assassin. What was it?
The
It was really good.
Crap.
It was really good. Trust me, all right? I can't remember what it was, but it was really good. I feel bad because it happened early in the show, so that's why.
I should have wrote that down.
It was really, really good though. She called herself some like undead or deadly or something better than that. All those words I'm trying to make, but
the necro assassin, the undead assassin, zombie assassin.
No,
just something assassin, but it was really good. Just proving
it was really
why,
catchy, and I even said like, oh, that's really good.
Proven why, in my opinion, Rosemary +1 for being best women's champion right now. I will go on standard and say that. All right, no other women's champion has anything compared to Rosemary. All right, when I start seeing women go through Monsters Ball matches and crap like that, and all the stuff that Rosemary's done,
then we'll start considering others. But until then, no.
Yeah. Plus, she's a hell of a talker. Rosemary's phenomenal on the microphone. Yeah. So she's like, ODB, you're not worth my time. Out comes about 100 knockouts that, unless you really know them, or you
would literally
think
that
they were part of the company.
In the back just showed up.
Yeah, you would have thought they just hired a bunch of girls to go out there. So we got all the girls that were part of like a bunch of squash matches, whether it even be in NXT or in against the Brandy Rhodes, Casey Quinn, DeMonte was out there from LAX, like Rebel was out there. Who else was out there?
Oh, what's her face? The nude chick.
Not RJ. MJ Jenkins, I think that's her name.
MJ Jenkins.
A whole lot of people, like a whole lot of women were out there. That was like,
oh, the lady Jenkins.
What's going? No, she was. She's this petite African American chick.
She has a frohawk.
With a frohawk. She looks pretty cool. I mean, I don't know what to say about her. Hopefully, she does something cool. The thing
is, she got mauled in this segment. Though.
Yeah, she got mauled. Yeah, like a lot of the women kind of got just like overshadowed. The two people that stuck out in this were like a weird Casey Quinn fight with what's her name, whatever. But like it was weird how they were fighting back and forth. It was very cringy. I don't know, because all the women fought, because why not? All you gotta know is that apparently ODB is not going to be feuding with Rosemary, because we'll get to the main event. But whatever. After that match, we had Cody Rhodes and Moose in a really good match in the middle of the show. Really
Impact
good
Grand Championship
for
match.
that Impact Grand Championship. They did something great, which they haven't done yet. Judge got knocked out by Cody. Out comes Bruce Pritchard to Judge. Not entirely sure why Bruce Pritchard didn't side with Cody based on how his character acts. You know what I mean? Because he's so against...
based on his character is all about like that kind of stuff.
Yeah, he's so against like EC3, but he's also against Josh Matthews because of Karen Jarrett.
Like I'm still trying to gauge his character.
Yeah, he's kind of all over the place. It's weird. But all you know is he didn't side with Cody, and Cody lost the match, which is a good thing. A lot of people were very torn about this. It was half and half from what we've been talking about with people. Some people were like, Cody needs to do the title thing, and then there are people who were like, heck no, I'm gonna go on record and say this, and stand with this decision right here, which I'm pretty sure I've talked about before. But until Cody is 100% Impact, and he's like, all right, every freaking show I'm gonna be there. You know what I mean? Like Alberto wasn't there this week, so it makes me worry.
For the entire taping.
Yeah. Cody Rhodes shouldn't be of that, that weird mid-card, upper mid-card area. Mullins said it while we were watching it. If this was WWE, people would get mad about him being there in that mid-card, upper mid-card scene because of what he was doing at Stardust and stuff like that. Now that he has the chance to be a main eventer at Impact easily, if he wanted to, he could probably be world champ. It's just the extra motive to probably say, hey, I'm going to be the world champion of Impact. Lashley, get to the back. Del Rio, get to the back. Let him come in, let him make his own little formation of a Bullet Club, in Impact. It would be great. But for this moment, it's phenomenal. I think Moose retaining the belt, smart decision, great decision, phenomenal decision, because that will help Moose. So that's about it I can say on that. Brandy Rhodes got angry and walked out during the match, calling them idiots, saying they were doing stupid shit. Literally, they had to censor it. Damn stupid shit or whatever. But yeah, they censored that part. But do you want to comment anything on this? This is about a 15-16 minute match. It took up the most of the not a lot of the show time, but I feel like it took up the most amount of time in particular. That really took away from the main event also. But this match did need the time, given who is involved and how much I think this will mean for Moose. So, you want to say anything, Mullins, or that hit the nail on the coffin?
This match was, again, it was a match that, like, the thing about this is I feel like they should have built this a little bit more, this feud, before they had this match.
I feel like this. But the thing is about it is,
it's Cody's only. Cody hasn't made that commitment yet, so Cody's just showing up sparingly. So once this feud's over, who knows where Cody goes?
True, dude. True.
That's the biggest thing. Is like the only thing that's really keeping him to keep coming back to Impact is the fact that they have a contract with his wife.
Mm-hmm. Who really knows? What's gonna be next for Cody? Yep. After that, EC3 came out in another segment that wasted a lot of time, in my opinion.
Yeah, this one probably was the biggest. I don't know why they had this segment.
Yeah, this was literally a hype segment between James Storm, who's pulling off the "I'm not a part of DCC anymore. Let's not talk about that ever existing." But he still wore like the outfit with the tie. He still had
the white tie with the black suit.
Yeah, it was. He was.
But
he
had his cowboy hat. He had his trucker hat on.
Yeah, he was pulling off the whole. I've been here when Elix Skipper was jumping off of cages, stuff like that. What were you doing? EC3 was like, oh, I was in high school watching this. I was in college doing stupid stuff. I was, watching this. I wish that at some point, TNA got really edgy the first week when they name dropped WWE John Cena, last week freaking Lesnar. Why didn't they say, hey, Storm, where were you while I was doing all this, oh wait, you were in NXT. I feel like they could have just done more there. Like, it was already weird because they were trying to get off of the hype of the crowd. I know it was to hype the crowd up, but given what followed that, maybe it didn't pay off too much. But all we know now from that segment, it's all about getting to the next week for segments. James Storm versus EC3, number 1 contender match. What the heck is Del Rio thinking? Who knows? We'll see next week. But, alright. I guess I can dig Storm and EC3 number 1 contenders match for who faces Lashley. I guess.
Who loses Lashley next?
Who loses Lashley next.
Pretty much.
Eddie and Davey, something that actually is really exciting that was briefly talked about, but you'll be excited for this one because I love their last match of this caliber. Eddie and Davey in a last man standing match. So I think that one will tear the roof off the place.
Do you think that's the feud blow off, or
I
do you
hope
think
so.
this continues afterwards?
I hope so, because honestly, unless this is something that gets drawn out to Slammiversary, it should end. It should end here. But if it doesn't, like I said, they're good wrestlers. They have good chemistry. Of course they do. And the two women by their sides are so great at doing their roles. You know, they're not doing it too much where it's like, oh, I need to have a Knockouts title to make this feud great. They don't need that. They don't need to, you know, as we've said before with other companies, taking something away from someone when you don't need it. This is the right time where it's like, hey, you know, these two guys, they don't need to take away from a title to, you know, up the ante, because they're putting on some good matches without it. So, but KM versus Braxton Sutter BS. KM wins. It was okay. It was decent. I wasn't like, wow, this is the greatest match. But it wasn't the worst match of the show. So thumbs up there. But his finisher is a power bomb to the knees. Then they get beat up again. Don't know why that really happened, but yeah, all you gotta know is Kevin Matthews beat Sutter because Sutter got distracted by Allie. Then he was getting cocky. Sutter falls out of the ring. Allie goes in there. Allie almost gets beat up by Kevin Matthews, which would have been cool. But then she actually beats up Sienna, who then Kevin Matthews grabs Allie. Sutter rolls in, knocks out Matthews. Allie knocks out Sienna. They both roll out of the ring. And then Laurel Van Ness comes out drunk, which probably saved everything, actually. And Sutter
told you it was
and
my favorite new gimmick.
Sutter and Allie looked at Laurel Van Ness and were like, they were just, you know, they were trying to hold back a laugh because it's so good. But meh. All right. Main event time. I think that's everything.
Yep,
Yeah.
that is everything.
All right, main event time. The tag team title match that we have all been waiting for. Who will follow the Hardys title reign? You did good here. I'll say that. They didn't have enough time, and it should have been an elimination match. But you did good.
But you did good.
You did good. You didn't give it to Reno Scum. Now, some people would have been okay with that. I personally, I'm like, no.
No,
I just don't.
That's not the team that you.
That's not the team that
this
needs
is
to
like
follow.
This is the hey, you know what? We are rebranding the tag division.
Yeah.
You don't do that with Reno Scum.
Sadly, you can't do that with Decay either, because if you're rebranding, you can't just give it to the guys before the Hardys. So, sorry for Decay. I like Decay. Like I said multiple times. Like I said, they were probably one of my favorite, you know, tag teams that weren't, you know, blood related last year. Like I just think they were so good. But yeah, I just said you couldn't give it to them. Dorado Kid and Garza Jr. They were the team to take the pin. They're the ones, like you said during our watching period, that they were probably the team to break up. Not probably within the
They're
next
the team
week,
that's gonna.
but
They're the team that. No, I'm not saying that they're gonna feud or anything. I'm just saying they're the team that they're both gonna probably be in this new X division.
yeah. So that'll be interesting to see there. So LAX getting the win here. During that, all you got to know, basically, they didn't get enough time. Should have been an elimination match because it probably would have meant a little bit more. But we do get to see maybe JK versus LAX because Rosemary got involved. And the girl, I think it's Diamante. I'm still not 100% on their names. Sorry about it. There's a whole lot of new people. I got to get used to it. Got to adjust. Just like you guys. You know, we got to...
I think it's Diamante.
Yeah. Not everyone can be our favorite, like Falaba, who wasn't here this week, but it's okay because you're gonna get him Saturday. Tune in.
You'll get him
Cheap
Saturday.
Pops for everybody. But yep. So Rosemary and Demonte looks like that thing's gonna kick off. Please don't drop the belt, Rosemary. I don't think Demonte should be the one. She does look like someone who could beat Rosemary, but maybe not right now. Maybe this is where Rosemary beats ODB up and then Demonte can come in. I don't know. It's still a little, I'm a little on the fence with that one. But great move, though, for LAX getting the belts. I love that decision.
I like their new entrance. How they got the separate entrance.
I love it. If there's one thing in Impact this week that I loved, you may have had a very rocky beginning. Like, I'll be honest, Mullins, you said it too. This, with the way the beginning was, a lot of people could have been like, I'm done already this week. But we knew the tag team match was at the very end of the show, and we got some good surprises in between, not to mention the whole Cody and Moose thing that was slightly put in there, how that ended and how that was presented, and how it was so good. But
and how they hinted at Team Borash versus Team Matthews match.
Yep.
In the future.
Yeah, they're very much skimmed over that. Not Kevin Matthews, freaking Josh Matthews. Josh Matthews, great asshole on commentary. I just gotta say that.
Yeah, he
talked over everybody.
Completely grown on me.
Yeah, he talked over everybody. But with that being said,
he was putting over his wrestling career, and
yeah, because EC3 was like, I used to be undefeated, and Josh Matthews was like, so did I. It was great. But this is gonna do it for another really long Impact review. Like I said, these things are getting long because we just have so much to talk about. But I like it. I hope you guys like it too.
Yeah.
With us talking, I very much liked it when I could just give you everything you needed to know and then give a number, say, hey, go forward. But I think now we're really getting in depth.
There's a lot to discuss now.
Yeah, I feel like now it's very much like we can't just skim over everything. We have to talk about stuff and give our opinions, even if they're unpopular. They're in the middle. But I look at things.
We even discuss things going forward now. Like, now you got to discuss some of those things going forward.
Especially Slammiversary.
Where do we go from here?
They're very hyping Slammiversary too on their social medias. So I think you kind of have to look at things like, how are things from the past affecting things currently, and where are they going towards the future? But Mullins, I'll let you hit us off first with the numbers as usual. What'd you give it tonight?
Honestly, I'll give it an 8.5.
So this is where I'm probably gonna disagree with you the most that I've ever disagreed with you, and this is probably not gonna be an unpopular.
Because honestly, like
week for
as
me.
a whole, like. There was obviously bits and pieces I didn't like at all, but as a whole, it was a good episode to build. Like, the thing about it is that because we're gonna see a lot of building episodes for TNA in the next, and like with the last couple weeks we have, and we're gonna see it a little bit going forward because they gotta rebuild everything and reestablish everything, and we are gonna there's probably gonna be more faces on the way, more new faces.
That being said, my friend,
like I said, it's going to be very nuts in the next couple weeks.
I can't agree with you this week. I'm much sorry for that. I'm gonna have to give Impact a solid 5 this week. And I know that's like I know, like TNA mark. I get it's not even TNA, it's Impact now. Impact Mark by Nate and everybody who wanted to dip out for Impact tonight. But I guess it's a good thing they did dip out, because in my opinion, I don't think they would be too flat.
This wouldn't have sold them on TNA.
Yeah.
That's the thing is I like it because I actually like look at it from a standpoint of why I've watched the last couple weeks and whatnot.
Mm-hmm.
But if I was just coming in to watch this episode, yeah, like I said, like I had told you when we were watching, I would have turned it off.
So I'm gonna have to give it a solid 5. Good decisions and bad decisions. Bad opening, good ending.
Story of TNA's
good stuff to look forward for next week. And just bad clip choices to be presented and bad replays, because we were talking a while how they didn't have those replays, and now we got one that did not need to happen, unless I guess it was to push that ODB loving Earl Hebner thing, which is weird because she's trying to act serious against, or somewhat serious against, Rosemary. I don't know how I personally agree with that one, but solid 5. I'm gonna stand by that. Sadly, wasn't as great as last week, wasn't as great as it's been. I really hope that the beginning isn't something that goes down in TNA history as a bad thing. I have a bad feeling about that, but my hopes for TNA or Impact Wrestling are always high. So next week, though, hopefully it's a good week. We got new tag champs. I'm gonna say this: please start off the show with the new tag champs. Please.
They needs to. They need to push this faction out to the moon.
So next week, everybody.